Have you ever sat down to enjoy a meal, only to feel bloated, gassy, or uncomfortable an hour later, even though you didn't eat that much? Maybe you're trying to eat healthier. Maybe you've even cut out the usual suspects like fried foods or dairy, but your stomach still doesn't seem to agree. And if you're managing a thyroid condition on top of all that, like hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, it can feel like your digestive system is always one step behind. First of all, if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we age, our digestive system changes. Things slow down, our stomachs become more sensitive, and if our thyroid is running low, our gut tends to get sluggish too. That's not your fault. It's just biology. But the good news? With the right kinds of meals, you can start feeling better, lighter, less bloated, and more energized. And it doesn't have to be complicated. In this video, we're going to cook up 5 easy, gentle on the stomach recipes that are especially great for seniors with sensitive digestion, whether that's from thyroid changes, IBS, or just everyday gut discomfort. These meals are warm, simple, comforting, and packed with ingredients that support digestion without overwhelming it. We're talking soups, stews, cooked veggies, and nourishing one-pan meals, all designed to make your belly and your taste buds feel happy. But before we dive into the first recipe, let me say this. This isn't about following a strict diet or never enjoying your favorite foods again. It's about tuning into how your body responds to what you eat and learning how to make small, feel-good changes that work for you. So think of these recipes as a place to start, a foundation you can build on. Ready? Let's get cooking. Let's start with one of my favorite go-to meals when my gut needs a little extra love: gentle carrot and ginger soup. It's simple, it's warm, and it's filled with ingredients that your digestive system actually wants you to eat. Carrots are naturally sweet and easy to digest. Plus, they're full of fiber that's soft on the gut. Ginger helps soothe the stomach and can relieve that heavy, gassy feeling, especially if your thyroid is making your system feel slow or backed up. All you need for this soup is a few fresh carrots, a small potato for creaminess, a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger, and some broth. You just simmer everything until it's soft, blend it until smooth, and sip it slowly. It's the kind of meal that feels like a warm hug for your stomach, especially on colder days, or those days when your belly just doesn't feel like working very hard. One of the things I love about this recipe is that it's easy to make in big batches. You can cook once and enjoy it for a few days, either as a light lunch or a starter before dinner. It also freezes beautifully, so you can keep a few portions tucked away for those evenings when you're too tired to cook. And let's be honest, we all have those days. Now that we got something cozy and comforting to start with, let's move on to something that feels a little heartier, but is still gentle on the gut: zucchini and rice stew with soft herbs. This one's great if you've been dealing with bloating, constipation, or that brick in the belly feeling that sometimes comes with slow thyroid function. The zucchini is soft, mild, and full of water to help hydrate your system. The rice gives you easy-to-digest carbs that keep your energy stable, and the herbs, like dill or parsley, help calm digestion and reduce gas. Here's what I usually do. I saute a little onion in olive oil until it's soft, add chopped zucchini, some cooked rice, and enough water or broth to make it stew-like. Then I simmer it gently, season it with a pinch of salt and fresh herbs, and serve it warm. You can make this recipe plant-based or add in some shredded chicken if you need the extra protein. Either way, it's nourishing without being too heavy, and that's the key when cooking for a sensitive stomach. The secret to gut-friendly meals isn't about removing everything you love. It's about preparing food in a way that's easy to digest. For example, raw vegetables can be tough on the gut, especially for older adults or anyone with thyroid issues. But gently cooking them, steaming, simmering, or stewing, makes them much easier on your digestive system while still giving you all the benefits. I know there's a lot of information out there about gut health, thyroid diets, elimination diets, and all kinds of do's and don'ts, and it can feel overwhelming. But what I want you to take away from today is this. You don't need to follow a complicated plan. You just need a few easy, gut-friendly meals that work for your body and make you feel good. You'll know it's working when you finish a meal and feel satisfied, not stuffed. When your belly feels calm instead of bloated. When your energy holds steady instead of crashing mid-afternoon. Now that we've covered our first 2 recipes, carrot ginger soup and zucchini rice stew, You're already halfway to having a gut-friendly meal plan that works for your body, your energy, and your schedule. These are the kinds of meals that don't just feed your stomach. They support your thyroid, nourish your digestion, and leave you feeling lighter, clearer, and more in tune with your body. And we're just getting started. Next, we're going to explore another recipe that's just as easy, just as gentle, and surprisingly versatile. We'll also talk a bit about ingredient swaps and what to keep on hand in your kitchen if you want to make gut-friendly meals without the stress of constantly running to the store. Stick with me. You're doing great. Let's keep cooking for a happier gut. Welcome back. So far, we've covered 2 recipes that are as gentle as they are satisfying. Our carrot ginger soup and that cozy zucchini and rice stew. Both are warm, easy on digestion, and full of ingredients that your thyroid and your belly will thank you for. Now, let's keep building. The next recipe is one of those quiet superheroes in the kitchen. It doesn't have a long list of ingredients or take much effort, but it delivers big comfort and relief, especially if you're dealing with a sensitive stomach or sluggish digestion. I'm talking about mashed sweet potatoes with turmeric and coconut oil. Now, stay with me. Sweet potatoes aren't just delicious. They're naturally rich in soluble fiber, which helps keep things moving in your gut without irritating it. That's especially helpful if you're dealing with hypothyroidism-related constipation or bloating. Turmeric, with its gentle anti-inflammatory properties, can help calm down the digestive system and reduce discomfort. And the coconut oil, that's where the magic happens. It gives the mash a creamy texture and supports better nutrient absorption. Here's how I make it. I peel and steam a couple of medium sweet potatoes until they're super soft, fork tender. Then I mash them with a small spoonful of coconut oil, a pinch of turmeric, a little sea salt, and if I'm feeling fancy, a sprinkle of cinnamon. That's it. Warm, sweet, comforting, and full of ingredients that are kind to your belly. This mash makes the perfect side dish for a simple meal or even a gentle snack when you want something warm and filling without reaching for bread or crackers. And speaking of bread and crackers, let's talk about that for a moment. A lot of us grew up thinking toast was the go-to for an upset stomach. And while plain toast can be soothing, many store-bought breads are full of ingredients that don't sit well, like added sugars, commercial yeast, and hard-to-digest grains. If you're trying to support your gut and your thyroid, sometimes even a slice of bread can leave you feeling bloated or gassy afterward. That's why I love this next idea. Simple gut-friendly pancakes made with bananas, oats, and eggs. Yep, pancakes. But don't worry, we're not going full diner style here. These are soft, warm, and made with ingredients that are easy to digest and won't spike your blood sugar. All you need is 1 ripe banana, 1 egg, and about 2 tablespoons of rolled oats. Blend or mash them together, and cook in a small pan with just a touch of oil. Coconut or olive oil work great. They cook in a few minutes and come out like little golden, slightly sweet pancakes that are soft on the stomach and surprisingly satisfying. You can top them with a bit of plain yogurt or a drizzle of honey if you want a little extra flavor. These make a great breakfast, yes, but I also love them as a light dinner when my gut is feeling off. And because they're made from whole, real ingredients, they digest more smoothly and support stable energy. Plus, the banana gives you potassium, which supports hydration and muscle function, both of which are extra important for thyroid support as we age. Now, let's take a breath and talk about something that might be on your mind as we go through these recipes. Variety. You might be wondering, if I'm eating soups, stews, and soft foods, won't I get bored? That's a valid concern. And the answer is yes, you could, if you're not rotating your ingredients or getting creative with seasonings. But here's the thing. Your gut actually loves routine and predictability. When it comes to sensitive digestion, too much variety at once can be overwhelming. What we want to aim for is a gentle rotation, using similar ingredients in different combinations and preparing them in ways that feel new. That's exactly what brings us to our next recipe, warm vegetable medley with ginger oil drizzle. It's less of a strict recipe and more of a method. You take soft vegetables that your stomach handles well. Think carrots, zucchini, peeled sweet peas, soft green beans, or even a few chunks of well-cooked pumpkin, and you steam or simmer them until they're tender. Then, while they're still warm, you drizzle a bit of olive oil or avocado oil that's been gently heated with fresh grated ginger. Add a small pinch of salt, maybe a dash of ground cumin or turmeric if you enjoy that flavor. And you've got a dish that's warm, aromatic, and incredibly soothing to the gut. This kind of recipe is especially helpful if you're feeling inflamed or bloated. It's light but still fills you up, and it gives your digestion a break without sacrificing nourishment. Now that we talked about mashed sweet potatoes, those soft oat banana pancakes, and our warm veggie medley, you might be seeing a pattern here. Soft, cooked foods. And that's not by accident. Raw foods, salads, smoothies, crunchy snacks have their place, but they can be tough on older digestive systems, especially for folks with thyroid issues. Your gut has to work harder to break them down, which can lead to gas, bloating, or fatigue after meals. Cooked foods are like a head start. They're easier to digest, easier to absorb, and more grounding for the body. That doesn't mean you can never eat raw foods. But if your belly has been off lately, or if you're trying to reset your gut, going mostly cooked for a while can make a world of difference. Next up, we'll wrap up this gentle gut-friendly recipe collection with one more easy meal that ties everything together. Plus, I'll share a few tips for keeping your kitchen stocked with sensitive stomach staples, so you're never left wondering what to eat when your gut just isn't cooperating. So stay with me. You're doing wonderfully. Let's keep supporting that belly, one nourishing bite at a time. Welcome back. So far, we've talked about soups, stews, soft pancakes, and warm veggie dishes. All simple, gut-soothing meals that don't leave you bloated, heavy, or confused about what just happened in your belly. Now, let's finish strong with one last recipe that's incredibly versatile, easy to prep, and loved by just about everyone I've shared it with. It's my version of a slow-cooked mung bean and veggie porridge. I know, porridge might sound like something from a nursing home menu, but hear me out. When it's made right, this dish is comforting, rich in fiber, easy to digest, and incredibly nourishing for both the gut and the thyroid. Mung beans are one of those quiet heroes in the world of digestion. They're easy on the stomach, high in soluble fiber, and help feed the good bacteria in your gut without causing excess gas like some other legumes can. They also support regularity, which is especially helpful for those managing sluggish digestion tied to low thyroid function. To make this dish, you'll just need split yellow mung beans. They cook faster and are gentler, a bit of rice, some soft veggies like carrots or zucchini, and a good broth or water. Simmer everything together slowly. Low and gentle is the key here, until it turns creamy and soft. Add a little salt, or even a spoon of miso at the end for flavor. Some folks like to top it with sautéed greens or drizzle sesame oil. It's one of those meals that tastes better the next day and keeps well in the fridge. What I love about this porridge is how forgiving it is. Not feeling great? Make it thinner and sip it slowly. Want something heartier? Let it thicken and top it with soft poached chicken or a sprinkle of seeds. It adapts to what your body needs. Now, let's step back and talk about something just as important as the recipes themselves. Making your kitchen work for your gut, not against it. Because it's not just what you eat, it's how you plan, how you prep, and what's available when your belly feels off and your energy's low. And if you're dealing with thyroid fatigue, you already know that having to cook something from scratch at the end of a long day can feel like climbing a mountain. That's why I always recommend having a few gut-friendly staples on hand. Things you can grab without thinking too hard. Here are a few ideas that go hand in hand with everything we've cooked today. Soft-cooked rice or oats. Make extra and keep in the fridge. A jar of bone broth or veggie broth. Perfect for soups or sipping on its own. Cooked. Frozen portions of your favorite soup, especially something like the carrot ginger soup we made earlier. A ripe banana, some canned pumpkin, or steamed sweet potato. All easy bases for quick meals. And don't underestimate the power of herbs and spices. Cumin, ginger, fennel, turmeric. Just a pinch can help ease digestion and add warmth to your food. Cooking for a sensitive stomach doesn't mean sacrificing flavor. It just means being mindful of what your gut loves and making those ingredients easy to reach for. You deserve to feel nourished and satisfied. It's absolutely possible to have both. I hope you feel like you've gained not just recipes, but confidence. Because when you understand what your gut needs and how your thyroid plays a role, you can start making choices that leave you feeling better after every meal, not worse. And if you're thinking, okay, this sounds great, but I'm not a chef, let me just say this. You don't need to be a chef. You just need to be willing to try. to notice how you feel after a meal, to pick up a wooden spoon, stir something warm and simple in a pot, and say, "This is for me," because your health, your comfort is worth it. If any of the recipes today spark your interest, let me know in the comments. Have you tried something similar? Do you have a favorite gut-friendly go-to meal that brings you comfort? Share it. We're all learning from each other here. And if this video gave you even one helpful tip or recipe idea, please give a like and subscribe. I'm here every week with more real talk about thyroid health, digestion, aging, and everything in between, served up in a way that makes sense and feels doable. Thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself, and for taking this time to learn and grow. Your gut, your thyroid, and your future self are all quietly cheering you on. Here's to cooking with care, eating with joy, and feeling lighter one meal at a time.